Oh boy, Spider-Man Brand New Day has been getting a lot of leaks lately. I can't exactly share anything from it out of fear for my life. But it really made me start to think, the marketing for these Spider-Man movies has really changed, hasn't it? Nowadays we have to deal with people literally threatening to release the entire movie and trailers. But back in the mid-2010s, during the hype for Spider-Man Homecoming, it was a very different story. We actually had to wait to see content from the film instead of consuming countless leaks. So what was the build-up and hype towards Spider-Man Homecoming like for so many fans at the time? We first learned about a new Spider-Man film on February 9th of 2015. This came after several rumors throughout 2014 regarding the future of the Amazing Spider-Man franchise. The idea that Marvel would not only develop a Spider-Man movie, but would also integrate it into the MCU was incredibly exciting for fans at the time. Everyone eagerly awaited his appearance in Captain America: Civil War, which was heavily reported on. In early 2015, reports began surfacing about possible titles for this new Spider-Man movie. One of the most popular rumored names was The Spectacular Spider-Man, which gained enough traction that it inspired fan-made logos and even fully animated title cards. However, the title Spider-Man: The New Avenger eventually started circulating. According to reports, the filmmakers were leaning towards this title because they felt it better distinguished this version of Spider-Man from the previous Amazing Spider-Man films. This title became the most widely accepted among fans. If you were online during that period, you would have seen countless fan-made logos using this title, as well as an entire fan-made teaser trailer featuring a 3D animated Spider-Man. Many fan trailers at the time also used this title, showing just how much fans embraced it. Interestingly, while watching many of these fan trailers, it became clear that Logan Lerman was the most popular fan cast for the role at the time. These fan casts eventually faded once actual casting rumors began to surface. Of course, Spider-Man would eventually make his debut in Captain America: Civil War, where fans finally got to see how the MCU Spider-Man would be like in this universe. Most people were impressed and felt optimistic about his upcoming solo film. Luckily, we would receive plenty of information about the movie in the months leading up to its release, and even prior to Captain America: Civil War. On March 7th of 2016, it was announced that Zendaya had joined the cast, reportedly playing a character named Michelle. By far the most interesting development during the hype cycle was the rumored titles. For a long time, as established, Spider-Man: The New Avenger was believed to be the official title of the movie. However, this was debunked by April 5th of 2016 when Sony trademarked 4 different potential titles for the film, including Spider-Man: Coming of Age, Spider-Man: Greatness Awaits, Spider-Man: Homecoming, and Spider-Man: Suspended. At that point, there was no way to know which title they were going for, but that didn't stop fans from creating mock logos for some of these titles. On April 13th of 2016, the official title was finally revealed as Spider-Man: Homecoming during Sony's presentation at CinemaCon. According to the filmmakers, the title was a reference to Peter's age, as well as the fact that this movie marked his homecoming into the MCU. The very next day, reports emerged that Vulture would be the film's main antagonist. While there was no confirmation at the time, this would be confirmed the following month, as it was reported that Michael Keaton was in early talks to play the character. Although he initially declined, he later returned to renegotiate and was officially cast around May 20th. Around the same time, plot leaks regarding Vulture's role also began to surface. It was reported that Vulture, with the help of the Tinkerer, would steal and repurpose Chitauri tech to sell on the black market. Around this same time period, a major plot leak appeared on 4chan. According to the leak, the story would follow a young Peter Parker trying to balance being Spider-Man with his normal teenage life. It opened with Spider-Man stopping a morning bank heist by scaring the final robber using his spider signal instead of fighting. He then takes photos of the robbery to the Daily Bugle, but J. Jonah Jameson twists the story and paints him as a criminal. At school, Peter is always late, gets ignored by most students, except his best friend Harry Osborn, and deals with a jealous Flash Thompson as Liz Allen gradually grows interest in him. He initially turns down joining the homecoming dance committee, but later joins to get closer to Liz. On the villain side, Adrian Toomes works at Oscorp building a winged exosuit based on Iron Man's technology. Norman Osborn secretly conducts deadly human tests on the suit and later frames Toomes when he discovers what's happening. Toomes steals the suit and begins draining life force from animals and eventually people to counteract its rapid aging side effects while searching for the secret formula to cure himself. In the climax, Vulture crashes the homecoming to kidnap Harry Osborn, leading to a large-scale battle across the city. In the end, Toomes is captured and imprisoned. Liz gets back together with Flash, and Peter attends a second Spider-Man-themed dance with Mary Jane. The mid-credits scene shows Norman Osborn watching old footage of Peter being bitten by the spider at Oscorp. The leak was an interesting read, and many fans felt the story sounded very compelling. However, there was still no way to verify if any of this was accurate. But do you know what can be verified? How many of you have subscribed? If you are new to the channel and enjoy what you see, do consider subscribing to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. Sony continued releasing promotional material ahead of San Diego Comic-Con. This included official concept art showcasing the Vulture's full design. The first teaser trailer was also shown privately to attendees at the convention. As expected, fake Comic-Con trailers began to flood YouTube right after this. Most of them were just simple compilations and mashups of previous Spider-Man movies or other Tom Holland or Zendaya films. While most people could tell these were fake, there was one legitimate leaked trailer circulating at the time. Unfortunately, the full version of that trailer appears to be lost, and only the beginning portion has survived. However, even then, I still don't really know the validity of this trailer. An article claimed that Zendaya was playing Mary Jane Watson, which sparked the usual online discourse. We also received occasional set photos and videos, but nothing particularly major until September 2016. Around that time, a series of set photos began hitting the internet, showing what appeared to be Shocker's costume. The photos were quite shocking when they surfaced, not only because they gave fans their first look at the character, but also because they were taken from extremely close up, suggesting that they came from someone on set. Many people initially questioned, some even believed that the costume was from a fan film, Spider-Man: Heroes for Hire. However, if you watch that fan film, you'd know that the Shocker costume in that movie looks nothing like the set photos. And upon research, this particular Shocker suit could not be found anywhere else at the time. So the conclusion was that this costume really did come from the set of Spider-Man Homecoming, and these photos were likely a pre-CGI suit that was ultimately never used in the final film. However, I could be wrong, so if any of you know where this suit actually came from, be sure to tell me in the comments. The marketing campaign for the movie continued building momentum. There was a fake leaked promotional poster that claimed the trailer would drop on December 22nd. However, the spelling errors on the poster made it easy to spot this as a fake. On November 8th, more legitimate concept art leaked, showing further details on Vulture's design and confirming that this was really the design they were going for from the concept art. Zendaya addressed the negative reactions surrounding her casting, stating that many of the reports about her role were inaccurate and that people were making up information to get upset about. Finally, on December 6 of 2016, the official trailer for Spider-Man Homecoming was released. Overall, the footage looked very promising. What fans did not know, however, was that several scenes shown in the trailer were never in the final movie, a marketing tactic Marvel used frequently during that era to build hype. From that point forward, the marketing campaign went into full swing. We got to hear pieces of the soundtrack. Official action figures began releasing from the movie, including a Shocker figure, which gave us the expectation once again that Shocker would be in full costume in the final film, especially since months later, a piece of promotional art showcasing this costume would once again be shown. Sony would also roll out several high-quality promotional ads. One of the most notable was a surprisingly well-produced NBA commercial that felt almost like a deleted scene from the movie. There was also various brand partnerships, particularly in Mexico, where Sony ran a large campaign with multiple food brands. One of the biggest collaborations was with Bimbo, which included special Spider-Man toys inside their products. One of the most elaborate pieces of promotion for the movie was the official Spider-Man Homecoming app, released close to the movie's release. The app featured augmented reality that let you project Spider-Man into the real world. The most interesting feature, however, was the ability to access Peter Parker's phone data. This included his photos, which had a photo which actually leaked months prior when the original trailer came out, his text messages, which showed how often he made excuses to his friends, and voicemails, particularly ones from Michelle, which really stood out to me as it hinted at her interest in Peter.
Hey Peter, not that this is any of my business, but you gotta stop falling all over Liz. You need to relax. I know it's a stress for you, but like, stop being a loser. It's kind of embarrassing to watch. Anyway, call me. You won't believe what happened in Cobwell's class today.
For gamers, there was also a collaboration with Roblox with the game Heroes of Robloxia, where players had to defeat the Vulture in a special boss fight. Completing it rewarded players with a comically oversized Spider-Man mask. While Spider-Man Homecoming didn't have the most over-the-top marketing campaign compared to some previous Spider-Man films, the build-up to it was still incredibly exciting for fans, especially those who had long dreamed for an MCU Spider-Man film.